The moment itself is subtle.
No explosión. No gravitaste en el shock.
No tearing of space. People notice it the same way they notice a missing sound. Someone looks up out of habit. Another pauses mid-step. A child asks why the sky looks empty. At first, it feels like weather. Clouds, maybe. Light pollution, perhaps. The city keeps glowing. The earth keeps turning. But the stars are gone. Not dimmed. Not hidden. Gone. Every star, every galaxy, every nebula vanishes from view simultaneously. The moon still reflects sunlight. The sun still rises and sets. But beyond the atmosphere, there is nothing. Perfect, infinite black. Astronomers panic first.
Telescópios show no noise, no distortion, no interferência.
Just absence. Instruments that once captured ancient light now return zero. Not darkness, null dash, as if the universe beyond a certain boundary has been erased or sealed away. The illusion holds for a few hours. People assume malfunction, software error, coordinated failure, a prank so large it must be impossible. Social media fills with jokes about simulation glitches and cosmic power outages. Then observatories across continents confirm the same thing. There is no light beyond the solar system, no background radiation,
No distant glow.
no cosmic history arriving late. The universe has gone silent. Scientists race to explain it. Is light being absorbed? Is space itself altered? Has something collapsed between stars and Earth? None of the models work, because nothing is happening dash. Nothing is moving. Nothing is collapsing. Nothing is approaching. The stars are not hidden behind something. They are no longer there in any observable sense. The public reaction shifts from curiosity to unease. The night feels wrong, not darker, emptier. For millennia, humans looked up and saw continuity. The sky was proof that the world extended beyond immediate danger, beyond human drama. Now that extension is gone. The sky feels close, claustrophobic. People sleep poorly. Dreams change. Anxiety rises without clear cause. Therapists report patients describing the same feeling, as if the universe has closed its eyes. Governments issue calm statements. They emphasize that gravity is unchanged. Orbits are stable. The sun behaves normally. Life is not immediately threatened. They urge patience and trust in science. But science has lost its anchor. Cosmology collapses overnight. Entire fields depended on distant light, redshift, background radiation, stellar evolution, all of it now inaccessible. The universe's past, once written in photons, has gone dark. Humanity loses its memory of space. The most disturbing realization comes quietly. The night sky was not decoration. It was orientation.
Navigación.
Timekeeping. Meaning. For thousands of years, stars told humans where they were, when to plant, when to travel, when to remember their smallness. Now there is nothing to look at. Sailors feel it first. Not physically, but psychologically. The sky no longer offers reassurance. Astronauts report a deep unease even in low Earth orbit. Above them is no longer infinity. It is a wall. Children stop drawing stars. Not because they are forbidden, because they are no longer familiar. Education falters. Teachers struggle to explain what stars were dash. The night sky becomes historical knowledge rather than lived experience. Textbooks show images that no longer correspond to reality. Students ask a question no one can answer. Where did it all go? Religions fracture quietly. Some claim the darkness is judgment. Others call it a test. Others abandon cosmic metaphors entirely. Heaven, once imagined above, loses its location. Prayers feel directionless. The cultural damage deepens. Art becomes earthbound. Songs about stars feel nostalgic, almost dishonest. The idea of reaching for the stars becomes meaningless. Ambition loses its vertical dimension. The phrase, "we are not alone," changes tone. Before, it implied possibility. Now it implies absence. SETI programs shut down. There is nothing to listen to. Space agencies pause missions. What is the point of exploring a universe that no longer presents itself? Probes are delayed, budgets are cut. The future feels smaller when the horizon disappears. The first serious theory emerges months later. The universe may not be gone. It may have moved, not physically but relationally, as if Earth or consciousness itself has been isolated, wrapped in a bubble where information from beyond cannot enter. A cosmic quarantine not imposed by force, but by condition. Humanity may still exist in a universe full of stars. It simply cannot see them anymore. That idea terrifies more than annihilation, because it implies exclusion. The stars did not die. We lost access. People feel watched again, but not by something present, by something absent. The silence becomes personal. Looking up no longer inspires wonder. It inspires doubt. If the universe can disappear without explanation, without warning, without consequence, then permanence itself is an illusion. Humanity realizes how much comfort it drew from the idea that something vast, ancient, and indifferent was always there. Now even indifference is gone. The sky no longer reminds us that we are small. It reminds us that we are alone. And as the blackness stretches night after night, swallowing constellations that once anchored myth, science, and identity, one realization settles heavily across the planet. The stars were not just light. They were witnesses. They made humanity feel placed within something larger. Without them, Earth feels untethered, floating in a void with no reference points, no direction, no assurance that anything exists beyond immediate reach. This was not an astronomical event. It was a psychological severing, a fundamental loss, the loss of the cosmic mirror humanity used to understand itself. And this is only the beginning of what happens when the universe stops looking back. Time passes, and the darkness does not lift. The stars do not flicker back. The galaxies do not return gradually. There is no adjustment period. The sky remains empty. Humanity adapts the way it always does, by shrinking its expectations. At first, people kept looking up, out of habit, out of hope, out of disbelief. Months later, fewer necks tilt skyward. The absence becomes normalized, the way silence does after a loud machine shuts off forever. Children grow up without ever seeing a star. They do not feel loss. They feel indifference. To them, the night sky is simply black, a neutral backdrop like an unpainted wall. Old photographs feel staged. Stories about constellations sound fictional, like mythology invented to entertain bored ancestors. Something ancient breaks quietly. For most of human history, the stars were the longest continuity humans knew. Empires fell beneath the same sky. Languages changed while the constellations remained. The heavens were proof that not everything was temporary. Now everything feels temporary. Psychologists notice a shift that statistics struggle to capture. People think shorter, not in attention span but in time horizon. Fewer long-term plans. Less faith in projects that take decades. When the universe itself feels uncertain, investing emotionally in distant futures feels naive. Hope becomes localized. People care deeply about what is close: family, home, immediate survival. Global ideals weaken. Abstract causes lose traction. The sense of shared destiny erodes when the shared sky disappears. Climate change activism fades. Not because the problem is solved, because the narrative collapses. Saving the planet once meant preserving a rare oasis in a vast, visible universe. Now the planet feels like a sealed room. Protecting it feels urgent, but not meaningful beyond survival. Stewardship loses its cosmic context. Space exploration ends quietly, not officially, emotionally. Rockets still launch occasionally, but without wonder. Astronauts return changed. They describe a feeling of enclosure. Low Earth orbit feels like circling the inside of a shell. Above them is not infinity. It is a ceiling. Philosophy fractures. Entire schools of thought depended on scale, on the idea that human meaning was negotiated against something incomprehensibly vast. Existentialism, cosmic insignificance, the sublime all lose their reference. Humanity is no longer small in a big universe. It is alone in an unreadable one. Religion adapts unevenly. Some traditions retreat inward, focusing on morality, community, and inner life. Others collapse entirely, unable to reconcile divine creation with a sky that offers no evidence of creation at all. The idea of heaven fades, not denied, unlocated. Prayers feel like monologues. The most profound change is cultural. Stories stop reaching outward. Science fiction becomes claustrophobic. Narratives focus on enclosed worlds, simulations, underground cities, artificial skies. Even imagination adapts to confinement. Artists paint ceilings. Musicians write about silence. Poets stop using stars as metaphors. The loss is subtle but absolute. Humanity loses its external witness. For thousands of years, people believed that even if no one else saw their lives, the universe did. The stars watched births, wars, love, extinction. There was comfort in that indifference. Now there is nothing to watch. No sense of being placed inside something larger. That absence changes morality in strange ways. Some people become kinder. Without cosmic oversight, responsibility feels immediate. Others become reckless. If nothing is watching, if nothing endures, why restrain yourself? Crime does not spike dramatically. Meaninglessness does. People struggle to articulate why anything matters beyond immediate consequence. Laws still function. Societies still operate. But the emotional glue that bound individual lives to a larger story weakens. Legacy loses meaning. Why build monuments when the sky itself erased its own? Why write messages to the future when even the universe feels temporary? Birth rates decline not from fear, but from uncertainty. Parents hesitate to bring children into a reality that feels unfinished, unstable, unanchored. Children who are born adapt better than adults ever could. They accept the dark sky as normal. They do not romanticize stars they never saw. But something in them is different. Their imagination does not stretch outward. It loops inward. They dream of mastery, not exploration. Control, not discovery. Security, not wonder. The most unsettling theory emerges years later. Not from astronomers, from philosophers and cognitive scientists. The stars may not have vanished. Human perception may have changed. The universe could still exist in full, but humanity may no longer be cognitively aligned to perceive it. A shift in consciousness, in sensory integration, in the way meaning is processed. The sky did not go dark. Humanity lost the ability to see beyond itself. This idea spreads slowly. It is terrifying because it implies permanence. You cannot fix perception with technology. You cannot rebuild awe with instruments. If something in the human mind closed, then the universe did not abandon us. We abandoned it. Whether this is true does not matter. What matters is how humanity behaves afterward. People stop waiting for answers from above. They stop hoping for rescue, revelation, or destiny. Progress becomes practical. Ethics become local. Meaning becomes handcrafted. This makes humanity stronger in some ways, more resilient, more grounded, and profoundly diminished. Looking back, historians will not describe the dark sky as an astronomical anomaly. They will describe it as the end of the cosmic era of human thought. The moment when humanity stopped seeing itself as part of something vast and started seeing itself as the largest thing it could comprehend. That shift does not destroy civilization. It reshapes it into something careful, contained, finite. The night sky never returns. And in its absence, humanity survives, but changed. No longer reaching outward, no longer asking what else is out there, only asking how long this small, isolated light can last on its own. This was not the end of the universe. It was the end of humanity's relationship with it. A fundamental loss. The loss of wonder without replacement. And once wonder is gone, survival may continue. But meaning becomes something humans must invent alone, without stars to guide them.